Hey, Cindy, thanks for dropping by. I'm just playing this game right now. I might talk about some news in a little bit. I might even go. I might even go off air in a little bit, long enough to pop on another one. I'm gonna try to get about 3 hours in tonight because basically we got to get 10 more, and of course we're gonna get at least two between tomorrow's regular daily show and Friday's Firearms Friday. We'll probably get three. Might be a stretch to get three out of the two of them. I'm going to try to. But tomorrow, I'm going to be around all day, and I'm gonna pop on and off throughout the day until we get at least close to the 10 hours. Because it looks like I may be going back to shooting pictures of houses on Friday. Um, hey Megan, thanks for dropping by, sweetheart. Hey, y'all, let me know something real quick. I'm gonna click on this video that I'm playing in the background. Let me know if y'all are hearing any audio coming through other than just me talking, because you should not be hearing it. Are y'all hearing any other additional audio, or just me talking? Actually, are y'all hearing me talking? Good. And that means you can hear me too. So cool. Perfect. I'm not running the audio that goes with the game because, quite simply, it's uh in this configuration. If I run the audio, the stream starts to lag with the game audio. Hey, GCM, what's going on, brother? I'm not going to promise I'm going to be particularly entertaining tonight. I'm just trying to get them streaming hours in for the uh, Rumble Creator Program. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. The countdown ran out on me. Whoops. Hey, be controversial. What's going on? No, it appears to not matter. I went for like an hour and a half early this morning. Nobody really watching. So, uh, basically, I tell you what. Let me turn the camera on, and I'll explain to you guys what's going on. Since GCM just asked. Oh, okay. Button. Who's got the button? Do. There it is. All right, guys. What's going on is the Rumble Creator Partner Program is opening up in just a couple days. And I do mean a couple days. Like it opens on Friday, March 1st. So in order to get into the program, we got to have 30 hours in 30 days. And as it happens, this month, just because Cameron and Mario have both been busy, excuse me, we've had shorter shows. So we're coming up a little bit short, and I need to make up about 10 more hours. Well, I need to make up about 7 or 8 hours outside of our regular program of just live streaming time. So it doesn't, I don't have to do anything particular. I just need to get them hours in. So I'm just going to sit here and play my video game and listen to, I'm actually listening to the Timcast right now while playing my game. And I might get froggy in a little bit. I've got I've got a few articles that I want to talk about, and I might if I pull up the articles to talk about, then the way I'll do that is I'll shut down this stream and I'll open up another stream that is for about the article. I'll cover the article, go dark, come back on and cover another article. But we'll just have to see how I'm feeling about it for the rest of the night, because it's been kind of a long day. I had to go, I had a chiropractor appointment this morning, and then I had a nail in my tire. I had to go get that patched, and running errands, and just had some pretty delicious pork tenderloin medallions with lima beans and rice for dinner. I ain't gonna lie, I could definitely stand to go to bed right now. Trying to get them hours in though. As of yesterday, Mario.
I just thought dinner's running late, so I thought I'd just drop in for a minute. Let's see what's going on.
Excellent. How you holding up, brother?
Pretty good. I tried to arrange some things up here on the loft so that I have better lighting, especially during nighttime. But I need you to give me like a 30-minute crash course in how to light a set. I think I need to.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm not completely obscured, so I figure this will work for now.
Well, let me show you something.
No, you don't have to.
You can get one of these at like Lowe's for about $5-6.
Yeah.
And that'll do the trick. Or yeah, just aim that directly at your face.
Oh no, it'd be way too bright. I would need a filter for it.
Try it. Because I'll be able to see it and tell you if it's way too bright. See, that's not awful.
Right.
That's not awful.
Yeah, but I'm also.
But what? So tell me this: what is behind that light? Are you right up against a wall?
No, there's a. Oh God, it's flooding out everything. No, the wall's back there, a good 6-7 feet.
You don't have no. I mean, what's behind the desk that your computer's sitting on? Is the desk
open.
Right up against the wall?
No, it's open. It looks over. It looks down into the atrium. It's like there's like a
Okay.
guardrail there. Okay, so
Okay.
it's a drop off of about 15 feet in front of in behind my computer.
Excellent. Okay. Gotcha. With that light, it's bright enough. You could probably just put something.
I would rig something up there. Correct. I just
Yeah.
was improvising with what I had on hand and an extension cord. So pretty low budget.
I tell you what, do this. Aim that light straight up.
Karma Cathedral, 6 to 7 inches. Wow, impressive. Okay, aim it up. No, it's not gonna. That really won't make much of a difference because it's a wooden ceiling. It's not it's a non-reflective surface. It's not going to. There's no
No,
refraction
you're right. That's
coming off
not
of
going to do
that
it either.
wooden ceiling. No, well, no. What I have right now, I spent a couple minutes testing it before we went live, and well, this is what we got for right now. So
that's not awful. Your camera's doing a lot of work to adjust the contrast with that.
right.
Let me do.
Karma Cathedral. Chris is he's about to become a made man on Rumble. He's just got to get some more hours under his belt. So we're kind of just running the clock here, maybe doing a little news as it surfaces. Okay, but it's not like a scripted formatted show like we would normally do at 7:30 Eastern time, Monday through Friday. Okay, so yeah, we're just logging some hours here. That's all.
Yeah, buddy.
And as for Georgia Constitutional Media, yep, I've got a sunroof, or not a sunroof. The window pane in the ceiling or in the roof, whatever it's called, where the light
sunroof.
comes in. Yeah, sunroof. I've got that over me. So normally at the 7:30 program, it's not an issue at all. I just have natural light. I have literal golden hour lighting, which would be optimum. But at 8:14 p.m. On the Eastern Seaboard, that is not the case.
Correct.
Read you the news, Karma. Who are you, Karma Cathedral? Were you sent to infiltrate this program? Are you gonna shut it down? Is that what
God? I hope so. Bring it.
Nah, he seems friendly. Post your little ticker. Post your Gibbs grifter ticker. Maybe he'll buy you a coffee. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, okay. You know what, Chris? Let me drop this in the Camario in the stream chat for you. Did you see that surfaced today? Our favorite representative from California, Swalwell. Okay. Eric Swalwell has gotten into
He got caught on tape talking about cheating on his wife and we want to F10s.
Correct.
And
correct.
Basically, he was completely shit-faced drunk in a restaurant.
Yeah, in
with
DC.
In DC, some new donors, new lobbyists, and just like loudly proclaiming, I cheat on my wife all the time. I'm all about tagging hotties up in DC. And oh, by the way, let me list in detail all the ways that I abuse my congressional authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty satisfied with it. I mean, man, you know what? He lost his best side piece now that he can no longer bang the fang. Okay. He's been a little butthurt. Okay. You might remember afterwards he talked about nuking Americans. Okay. Because, AR-15 simply small arms fire and
then he shit himself on MSNBC.
And homemade tactical vehicles, not enough to take on the government. Meanwhile, the Taliban seem to do a pretty good job of that in running us out of their country. But anyway, so Eric Swalwell captured by an investigative reporter. Please, there's no mention of it, but please tell me it's O'Keefe Media. I really want to see that video.
It's
God, I want
not.
to see that video.
It's not actually. So funny story. The reporter that caught him was on Timcast last night.
Oh, really?
And it's what the reason it's funny is because what happened is the reporter was actually scheduled to be on Timcast last night. Like, he was scheduled on for the show for last night, like a week out. Right. So he'd been scheduled to be on for at least a week or so. But then it just happened that night before last, Swalwell comes into the restaurant where Homeboy's eating dinner and sits down at the table right next to him and starts just laying out the details. And the reporter's like, fucking really? Recording?
Record. Yep.
Go.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's in
just set his phone out on the table and started recording the conversation.
Yeah, in DC in midday, okay, and Washington DC has got to be if you're for anyone out there who was a Army veteran, okay, like if you're an S2, okay, in charge of like maintaining intelligence operations and maintaining cover, okay, for people, right, just ensuring the OPSEC of an organization. Washington DC is one of the most grueling environments to be forced to function in, okay, simply because it is a shit magnet for every foreign intelligence service on the planet. If they can afford airfare to DC, you can guarantee there's a couple reps, okay, of rival nations in Washington D at all times, ready to skim some information whenever they can. All right.
Well,
Swalwell
that's
is a
true.
massive liability.
That's true everywhere that the IC has installation. Right now, obviously, DC is the golden ticket for foreign intelligence operators. But Mario, you remember just when we were at the Presidio, we went through training on that, and one of the things we were told there. So the Presidio, the Defense Language Institute, where we train our linguists. So that's interrogators, it's analysts, that's translators, and all kind of other deeper spooky stuff too.
It's where MI soldiers go when they're stem cells, and then they develop into a piece of the puzzle of the intelligence community. So
you go get a foreign language, and then you get a real job.
Yeah, you're getting them raw if you get them at DLI.
but because precisely because you'd be getting them raw, you flip them early,
correct,
and get them where you want them.
Yep.
You can start to steer them if you can flip one there. There are foreign intelligence operators there trying to acquire and nurture assets. And so we get the OPSEC training there. And part of that brief is, listen, we have a foreign language college going on here. And to make sure that you are learning the foreign language authentically and fluently, the majority of the teachers are native born speakers of the language. Like, they immigrated here and they're here with a green card, an H-1B visa, or they've been naturalized citizens, but they are not natural born American citizens, like 90% of them. Yeah. And part of the briefing on that is we operate under the assumption that at all times, roughly 20% of these foreign born and they qualify as U.S. persons, but we operate under the assumption that about 20% of these foreign born people are part of whatever their original national intelligence agency is.
Very well could be.
And that even includes people like, we went through the Korean program, so we're dealing, the vast majority of the teachers we're dealing with there are South Korean. And I say the vast majority because we did have a couple of North Korean expats who ran across the border. They fled. God, what's the word I'm looking for, Mario? When you leave North Korea,
refugee. You were a refugee.
No, defectors.
Defector. Okay. Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like when you're looking at basically the OPSEC on DLI is don't be like Van Halen and don't have it bad, have it bad, have it bad. I'm hot for teacher. Okay,
Right.
don't do that. Don't. But yeah, so defectors, very well could be. But anyway, all right. So Be Controversial is asking, how does James O'Keefe directly interact with these people just wearing a pair of glasses? Well, it's because
you know what he's talking about, right?
Yeah, of course I know what he's talking about. The thing is that, the deep state homos, they just look at James O'Keefe and he's so silky sweet, they just want to believe. and they give it up like candy.
Yeah, I love the meme. If you're an ugly government employee and you're on a date with a hot chick, she is James O'Keefe. Karma Cathedral says it's why they don't hire young teachers. Oh, you clearly haven't been there.
No, they do. They do.
Yeah.
Some of them are hot too. Like they get an American diet for the first time and like they start getting that thickness. You're like, ooh, oh.
Well,
God damn.
To that, South Korean women are the largest breasted of all the Asian women on average. And it's precisely because they've got American-style ice cream and fried chicken and butter.
And 90% of the country are Mongol rape babies from like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Siberian titties. No joke. All right.
Karma Cathedral says all his were ancient. What language or her? I don't know who.
What language?
What language and what year or years? Or Japanese, yeah. Dr. Cho Won Suk used to mess with our one Japanese Air Force soldier, Horie. He'd say, yo, nasty Japanese boy. What do you think answer is?
Yep. All right. Well, so Swalwell, okay, in a fancy DC restaurant midday at lunch, right? Shit-faced,
hammered,
okay, shit-faced on the job, and he's just given up secrets, okay. And I cannot wait for this tape to be released. Whoever's going to release it, all right. He's openly bragging about orgies on Capitol Hill, okay, like kind of leaving some credence behind some of that dangerous stuff that what was that guy's name? He didn't even last one term. It was the Republican cripple, like the super photogenic cripple who got thrown out because they pulled up some like frat boy hijinks that he did. You know what I'm talking about. Cawthorn, I think. Anyway, so lend some credence.
Oh yeah, Madison
Cawthorn, yes, exactly. So bragging about orgies on Capitol Hill, talking about abusing his power to target Ivanka Trump, whatever that means. So maybe Swalwell himself got a FISA approval to collect on Ivanka Trump. I don't personally like Ivanka Trump, but I'm sure Daddy might have a problem with that. And then basically whined about being bored with his wife, saying he only wants to fuck tens. Okay, so classy guy. Anyway, he's also giving up confidential information, okay, about goings on within the Capitol. And remember, Chris, remind the audience, what committee does Eric Swalwell sit on in the House?
Well, okay, so
the Intelligence Committee. Holy shit!
I think he's off. I think right now, and I'm not going to look it up. I think he's been removed from the House Intelligence Committee, but he's still on the Department of Homeland Security Committee.
I do
but
not.
Yeah,
I don't recall Johnson kicking him off that committee at all. In fact, I don't really recall Johnson doing much of anything since Trump won the election, to be honest. Anyway, it's a nice.
Let me pull it up. Let me see what we got.
They've got Eric Fuckboy Swalwell on camera for 90 straight minutes of audio. Okay, this one's going to be a classic when it gets released. Anyway, couldn't happen to a more fiendish, just corrupt, slovenly individual. I'm glad this is happening, and it's it just goes to show you. There's a reason. I mean, look, I drink. I love alcohol. Okay, but I do not get drunk in public anymore. I've learned that lesson way too many times. A lot of it in the military. A lot of it in the military. I just don't do it anymore. I'll drink socially if I go out, and I'll save the boozing for when I get home in my garage where I feel safe, just like Weezer. Okay.
Soy un perdedor.
No. In the garage where I feel safe.
Yeah.
No one ever.
So he is no longer on the House Intelligence Committee.
Well, that's a good
But
thing.
he is still on the House Committee on the Judiciary.
Mhm.
Subcommittee on Responsiveness and Accountability to Oversight. Subcommittee on Antitrust, Commercial and Administrative Law, Immigration, Integrity, Security, and Enforcement. Now, there's one where you're talking about a guy who was an absolute threat to national security.
Yeah, you want to talk about a prime suspect of individuals who might leak ICE or Department of Homeland Security information to sanctuary city governments so that they could tip off migrant gangs that, hey, the cowboys are coming. Yeah, that's a prime fucking candidate. In fact, Homan, immigration or border czar Homan, was complaining that we already got moles and leaks within the apparatus in Washington D.C. that are tipping off these hostile foreign invaders that were coming. Swalwell should be investigated for that. And if that did turn out the case, then he should be executed. In fact, he should be executed anyway, just given his track record.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I'll start before I fed post. I'll pass the conch to you.
Well, he's also still on the House Committee on Homeland Security. I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
And then he's on a shitload of caucuses.
Yeah.
Ad hoc Committee for Irish Affairs, Americans Abroad Caucus, Animal Protections Caucus.
There you go. He's on the Congressional Singapore Caucus, Congressional Taiwan Caucus. What the hell is this? Like, how? What are you doing?
Right. How are you going to keep the Asian Pacific America Caucus, Singapore, Taiwan? I mean, the guy is, I don't understand. I don't understand how it's the case that he wasn't removed from Congress over the Fang Fang incident. Go back a few years. Remember Marjorie Taylor Greene? The Democrats removed her from freaking everything she was on because she said something about Jew lasers. Yeah,
Jewish space lasers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whereas Fang Fang is literally honeypotted by a Chinese Communist Party intelligence asset, and he's still there.
You know she's dead, right?
Fang Fang?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like a James Bond movie. You know, after the hot chick sleeps with Bond, she's got to be whacked.
Yeah, she died. She died in a plane crash right after the story came out.
Yep. Aaron Olson, yes, this is the same one. Correct.
Yeah,
that's who we're talking about. All right. Well, okay. We eat late here, and dinner is now ready. If you're still on after I'm done with dinner, I'll hop back on. Okay.
Wait, real quick. Let's just take just a brief moment.
Okay, brief.
There she is.
Yep.
So, I mean, I've seen worse. I've definitely seen worse.
Kind of mid.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Not bad, but I've definitely seen. I've seen better, but I've seen worse.
Well, Asians have a high floor but a low ceiling. You know what I mean?
Correct.
They cluster more around the middle. You got more 5s and 6s. Okay, a lot of clustered around the 5s and 6s. So,
alrighty.
Anyway, alrighty. So, yeah, I'm gonna go eat. And
all right, brother.
If you're still on, I'll be back. All right, take care, guys.
Okay, all right. Take care, Mario. Oh, wait. Oh, don't just hop back in this stream. If you want to come back on, let's do this. Let's if you want to pop back on, I'll end this stream and start a fresh one, and we'll pick up one of the other articles and just do a show.
Well, I see. I kind of like the open-ended thing where you just left the back door unlocked, and I can just kind of sneak in if I want to. Like Stephen Urkel. See, now you're making me commit to something here. So I don't know about that. Like, okay, if you want to do another half hour of read the news, I can do that when I get back on. But are you going to be nights? You going to be nights, big boy, or are you going to be up for a little while?
I'm going to try to push out to 3 hours. I'm going to try to get 3 hours on tonight, and we're at 33 minutes right now. But
all right,
as you're about to pop off, I'm going to turn my camera off and play video games for another 30 minutes before I start a new stream.
I'll contact you after dinner.
All right, later, brother.
Yep, talk to you later.
All right, so yeah, I'm not going to try to dig into much anything else at the moment, guys. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off and go back to playing my game for a little bit. I'll share the screen, so if you want to watch me play a silly video game, you're welcome to do so. Oh, wait, whoa. GCM says he might join also. Here, let me see. Do. Ben, if I send you an invite, there, I sent you one. Be Controversial is asking what the silly video game is. It's called Deep Core. What is it? DRG Survivor. So GCM, I just texted you. I think I texted you the link, but if you're doing it on your phone with the text, you'll have to set up Rumble Studio if you don't have it already, but you should be able to just pop on and get it. So, all right, I'm going to kill the camera and switch over. And if GCM pops in, we'll have a little chit chat. I haven't played Modern Warfare 5. B. This is a little more my speed these days. Oh, Mech Warriors 5. B says, I can't believe we're only 1 month into Doge and they are killing it. Hey, Anarchy, thanks for stopping by, brother. I'm not really doing a show so much as just trying to get them hours in. So apparently, they're breaking news right now. Pam Bondi is saying that the Epstein list will drop tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming off and on all day tomorrow. I guess. I guess that's going to come up. Uh, Good night, Megan. Love you, honey. We'll see you. I think we're still on for the 15th too. So, but yeah, see you in the morning. Tell the boys I said good night. Olson says he needs some ASMR. And I'm a steamroller, baby. And I'll roll all over you. Said I'm a steamroller for you, baby. You know that I like better than a roll all over you. And I'ma inject your soul with some sweet rock and roll and shoot you full of rhythm and flow. Yes, Lord. B, I didn't see that, but if you could, if you saw, if you've got a link, you could send it to the show at brushfiremind.com. Matter of fact, let me do something real quick. Let's add another banner. Yeah, B, that's fair. Hell yeah, Olson. Hell yeah, you can email me. And that email address, the show at brushfiremind.com, that's specifically for things like, hey, Lowry, I saw this cool article. What do you think? Joel, I read a shitload of news, and I still don't catch it. I mean, you can't catch everything. You just can't. Here you go, Mario. New link in not the infamous thread, in the Camario thread. Good timing because I just finished. I'm just now finishing this level.
Hello, hello.
Hey, brother.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, not much.
So you're playing your. Can people hear me? I assume they can, right?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay. So you're playing your fake ass League of Legends here.
I honestly, brother, I've never played League of Legends, so I don't know how this compares to it.
This is like a knock. This is like a yeah. It's like a mobile upload version of League of Legends.
I thought League of Legends was like an MMO.
No, League of Legends is just like this, where it's like there's a map and there's two sides, and you have like your team of 5 people or 5 characters or whatever versus the other team of 5, and you fight for control over the map and like take out the tower defenses, and then basically play like a kind of elaborate game of capture the flag.
Oh no, this isn't anywhere near that complicated. This is you
It
wander
looks to
around in circles and your guy auto shoots as swarms of enemies come at you.
so it's yeah, and there are bots in League of Legends, okay, like NPC characters that fight you in swarms. So it's taking elements of that game and just creating a simple, basically a simpler version of it.
Gotcha.
So Do you want to talk briefly about the German election that happened a couple days ago? Because I don't think it was mentioned on the show at all.
Actually, why don't we do this? Instead of trying to cover some news in this stream as we're doing it right now, let's why don't we just kind of war game what we're going to do for tomorrow's regular show?
Oh, you want to have a meeting, live meeting? You want to? Is the audience prepared for you to break the fourth wall, though? I mean, I don't know. All right. Well, fair enough. What did you have in mind?
I don't fucking know yet. Mm-hmm. You got any thoughts?
Well, you want to
I mean, the German elections thing is good. Did you catch a minute ago that I said Pam Bondi has just said she's shown enough about to drop the Epstein list tomorrow?
I've also heard that from a whistleblower that the FBI is actually actively deleting it as we speak. Like basically, Washington D.C. Paper shredder and bleach bit go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Paper shredder go burr.
Paper shredder go burr. No surprise, but yeah. I mean, I assume it'll be redacted to some degree, but
so let's see.
I don't know. Flowery asks about the German. Do you want to do a potpourri tomorrow, so to speak? Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Well then, I'm sorry, Flowery. Is that who I think it is? Is that who I think it is? Okay, yeah, okay. I wasn't going to say her full name. Okay. So
she's hiding behind a very clever nom de plume.
Yes, but but someone who knows would know instantly. Yes. Yeah. Well, basically the bottom line in Germany is so yes, the conservative side of the political spectrum won, okay, but it was the normie conservative. It was basically the rhinos, okay? The rhinos won the majority of the votes, all right, in the election, and the Alternative for Deutschland, which is the right wing, okay, or nationalist party, all right, they came in second, getting 20% of the vote. So you had the Christian Democrat Union, okay, in partnership with the Christian Social Union, which is the Bavarian offshoot, okay. Consider them like the Republicans. I dropped a chart in the Camario. If you want to post that up, it'll make it a lot more make this a lot more digestible for the audience. The one that shows the exit polls.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You must push the buttons. By the way, I'm drinking a Cape Cod. Okay, just like I said earlier today on the normal morning show. I am a damn Yankee at heart. Okay, and cranberry juice and vodka is my go-to beverage. Sometimes I get called a fag because my favorite drink is pink, but you know what? I accept it.
You know, quite simply, I've always gotten a chuckle out of drinking girly-looking drinks in kind of a say something, bitch context.
Okay,
yeah,
so
come make fun of my tie. Let's play that game. You're like you were there. You remember in freaking California and in Texas, we used to go to bars trying to get in fights.
Thank you. Controversial.
People just wouldn't play.
What? You would go to bars?
Remember, we would go to like Britannia Arms. I'd just walk up and take people's beers from them, and nobody wanted to play.
Yes, you would. It was
like if anybody would have played the game, I'd have bought them a beer.
In Fallout stat terms, okay, we're talking special and everything. Christopher Lowry virtually always passes his intimidation feat. Okay, virtually always. Charisma. He has high charisma score. He has a high speech score as well, but sometimes he just doesn't need it. It's whereas I do.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's something. You just walk up to somebody's table and you make that good eye contact and pick up their beer.
Yeah, just lock in the eye contact. Like, just it says
Thanks, brother.
The meta. Exactly.
You're welcome, sir.
That is locking in. It's like I see you, and you see me, and I see you looking at me, and you see me looking at you, and it won't
Olson
stop.
says they're required to shoot you if they fight you in Texas. No, brother. I did that shit in Texas too. We
Larry.
Mario and I had some adventures in Texas as well.
Chris, you settled down though. You settled down though pretty quick after you got married. That was a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're
Mario. You didn't know me when I was wild.
Yeah, I know. I never knew you when you were wild. Mm-hmm. But you are
when I was 19 or 20. Yeah. I was living down in Kings Bay, Georgia.
Yeah.
Working around the nuke sub base down there. We would go to Marine Corps bars and drink and start fist fights, and it was all in good fun. It's like, oh, it's Friday night. Let's hit each other with bar stools.
Yeah. You're I can imagine Larry in his youth would be basically a body like in pursuit of a felony, like just like a fly trap.
Miraculously, I have never been arrested. I've only been in the back of a police car one time, and it was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, so here's what happened. What happened was, we were in Maine. We lived in the Navy housing because Dad was stationed up there at the Army recruiting base, but
Portsmouth?
Brunswick, Maine is a Navy town.
Oh, yeah, Brunswick. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And he was running the recruiting base up there, and it's Maine. It's basically all white. So they got a new NCO in, young female staff sergeant with a couple of kids, right? Black. So Kenny is the only black kid in the neighborhood. And Dad actually, talked to me before they got there. He's like, hey, Chris, I got a new soldier coming in. She's got 2 kids. They're black. And that can be tough around here because they're
it's the whitest state in the union. Yes.
Yeah, their people aren't here. So I need you to do me a favor. I need you to take her son, Kenny, and kind of, hang out with him, make him feel welcome, make sure that he doesn't feel like, he's just completely out of place, and, make sure he's not having a bad time because of the situation. Like, yeah, no problem. Cool.
You have to use your baseline Georgia stats to help integrate the Negro into Hyperborea. Yes.
Yeah. So this, I'll never forget this because it was a Friday.
Yeah.
It was a Friday when they first showed up, and Dad's like, so, whatever you guys are doing tonight, take Kenny with you and make him feel welcome. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, it's Friday. We're going to do the same thing we do every Friday. We're going to go get a pizza at Amato's, and then we're going to go to the rec center and box.
But the problem is Kenny was every bit the stereotype.
Well, Kenny was not a big guy. So fast forward a few weeks, and Kenny has taken to it. He's boxing. He's getting in the ring. He's wrestling. He's playing the crazy basketball game that we used to play because the rec center had the climbing ropes that hung down over the basketball court.
You play Tarzan basketball? What do you play?
Exactly. We would wear boxing gloves and play basketball. It was basically basketball, except you're punching each other and swinging on ropes. It was pretty amazing. And then one day we're just it's after school and we're just kind of hanging out. A few of us were in Kenny's front yard, which happened to be the first house on the corner when he came into the Navy base housing unit. And we're just kind of roughhousing, wrestling, just kids playing around. And the MPs pulled up, and what the MPs saw was 4 white dudes and 1 black kid. And I had a busted lip. My lip was bleeding. I had braces. Shit happens. Yeah. Right? So, of course, they throw my big ass in the back of the car. And, well, we're going to have to call your daddy, son. Like, okay. And, here's his phone number. You go ahead and call Sergeant Major and tell him you picked up his boy. And they called him, and you know what he said? He said, "That's great. You can feed him for a few days."
They see this large hulking teenager. I assume you were already over 6 feet at that age.
Oh yeah.
So this hulking teen basically and his boys basically beating up the only black kid in town. And then they find out, oh, he's from Georgia. Well, this is
yeah.
exactly. Brunswick cops don't know. They're going to be like, oh man, hey partner, this is just like in that Ken Burns documentary. we stopped us a lynching. We stopped. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Wow. So Tarzan combat basketball. I'm guessing I'm guessing you played this before you learned the powers of composite risk management. Yes. I'm guessing.
Yes.
Because that shit would not. It's extreme every way I cut it. It doesn't. We can't do this.
That wasn't the most extreme sport I ever engaged in. When I was even younger, there was a creek. And there were a bunch of heavy like muscadine vines hanging over the creek, and the creek was in a ravine, kind of probably a 4, 5, 6 foot drop down to the bottom of it, depending on where you were at it. So you swing across on the muscadine vines, and we all had machetes. And so the game was you're trying to cut the vine that the other guys are swinging on.
Oh my God!
It's a miracle. It's an absolute miracle that I still have thumbs.
That's a terrible idea. That's an awesome terrible idea.
Yeah, you swing it back and forth across the creek, swing that machete, and drop the other guy in the water.
You ready?
It was big fun.
You guys want to play?
I've got a 9-year-old. I've got a 9-year-old boy right now. That's about the age I was when we were doing that shit.
Yeah, we're playing Donkey Kong Country IRL.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So you want to pop back to Germany for a minute?
Controversial says, "Lol, the basketball where you avoid bouncing." Yeah. I tell you what, when you're about to drop that basket after having, you're swinging from mid court, so you get enough arc to swing up to where you're high enough to dunk the ball. And somebody comes swinging in from the other direction and just pops you off the rope, you hit the ground hard, my man. So Mario, take us through this.
Okay, so Germany, like most European countries, okay, you've got it's not just a 2-party system, okay? You've got a number of parties, and they all more or less, at least in theory, fall along somewhere in the political spectrum, okay, of right to left, okay? So let's go over these parties here first. Okay, SPD is it's the socialist party. Okay, so think basically the Democrats. So the line at the top, red, that's the Democrats. All right, and then the Christian Democrat Union, Christian Socialist Union, same party, kind of like Republican and GOP. That's the in black. Okay, those guys would be considered the Republicans. Okay. Next, we have green here. The Greens, okay, are they're basically environmentalist fanatics. Okay, consider them. What if the Green New Deal had ever gained traction in the United States and became a party unto itself? Okay, so think Green New Deal, environmentalist who will destroy livelihoods of people, destroy the economy, destroy jobs, destroy energy independence, all because carbon. carbon. They're fanatics, okay, and the fact that they're
Right.
13.5% is disturbing. Okay, FDP is the Freedom Democrat Party. Okay, basically they're the libertarians. All right, so nominally on the right, but they're more just against the onerous state of European bureaucracy. All right. Then we
So
have
real quick, just to put all this,
real
hang
quick.
on, let me put all these in perspective real quick. Last night we talked, or no, this
I didn't
morning we
explain
talked a
them all,
little bit. Say what?
but I didn't explain them all.
Well, before you get much further into it, before you get to
Okay.
the AFD and the like, I want to make sure that everybody's clear on this. This goes for Germany and basically everywhere outside of the United States. Remember earlier this morning, Mario, I said I like to watch Tim Pool because he represents the extreme left of what is tolerable for a moral society, right?
Yep.
Okay. When you look at political parties outside of the United States, Tim Pool is the extreme, is the furthest right you can get within any of those parties, essentially.
So what the last sentence you said? What was that?
So it's kind of like Tim Pool represents the extreme left of normal society. When you get outside of the U.S., he is the furthest right that a political party goes.
Tim Pool would Tim Pool would probably fall under Alternative for Deutschland. Yeah. Somewhere between FDP and AFD there, okay, between the libertarians and so as I said, Alternative for Deutschland, this is the Germany first, okay, the Patriotic Party, okay, the Nationalist Party,
right.
The closest equivalent to that would be the MAGA wing of the GOP, except thankfully we're farther along in progression where MAGA has effectively consumed the GOP at this point, and it needed to happen. Okay, better for the Republican Party to have a political revival, okay, than the Democrat Party to have a political revival. All right, so be grateful for Trump. Okay, Alternative for Deutschland, like I said, the Patriotic Party, the Germany First Party, the Left Party, Die Linke, okay, exactly what it sounds, straight, literal communists, okay, gay, racial, homosexual communism. You can, if you want to look up, there was a meme posted where it showed some of the top 4 like personalities within the party, and they look like they're trannies. They're literally trannies, soy boys, and freaks. All right, Antifa. Basically, Antifa, the party, is the left party, and then BSW is basically the Muslim party. All right.
Okay.
So politically left.
What does BSW stand for? Do you know?
Bundes, which is Republic, and then I don't know, but basically think like the Immigrant Party, the Islam Party. All right. Okay, and they're at like 5%. So what you see here is the rhinos, if you will, won the most votes. Okay, and that's because if you look at the AFD support. Okay, well, you know what? Let me back up a second. So the normie Republicans, okay, the Republicucks essentially won 29% of the vote, more than anyone else. All right. The party that was in power up until this election is the SPD, which is the German Democrat Party. Okay, as you can see here, they lost 10%, right? Which is, when you're splitting up the vote with 7 other parties, losing 10% from the previous election is absolutely devastating. All right.
Yeah. So in Germany, and again, this is basically the way it works in everything that is called democratic or a democracy outside of the U.S.
Yes, Aaron Olson, 40% of people in Germany under the age of 18 are in fact not German. They are migrants.
Correct.
Angela Merkel has effectively. Angela Merkel. Here, you want a hot take? You want a hot take, boys? Here we go. Angela Merkel, since 2015, and her becoming what was the term she came up for? It was I forgot, but she created a play on like they're a superpower, but for social justice or whatever. Okay, or
Oh God,
anyway,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
But yeah,
and
outside of so in the U.S. we have primaries, and throughout the primaries, going into a federal election, throughout the primaries, you'll hear from the Libertarian Party, the Green Party, and a few others, right? But they're never going anywhere, right? They exist basically to protest that there is a system. Outside of the U.S., the governments are formed by coalitions of those fringe minority third parties.
Yep, we're going to get there. Exactly. All right. So SPD, the Democrats way down. All right. AFD is up over 9%. All right. So the biggest gainer was the AFD. Okay, across the board for new voters. And that's because they are the only of all of these parties, the only party that is willing to stop the madness of mass immigration into Germany is the AFD. All right. Now, the majority of millennials, support the AFD. So they are the younger party. Basically, non-boomers vote for AFD. All right, because they're the ones who actually live with the disastrous decisions, okay, of basically the boomer establishment generation, which would largely be consisted of the SPD, the red up here, and the CDU, which is the black, okay, the Republican and Democrat mainstream parties, okay. Those two parties that you see at the top here, their support is largely the older generations, okay, Gen X and older, all right, and they are effectively mind fucked, okay, by 80 years of post-war propaganda. They basically drank the Kool-Aid completely that Germany has to be forever sanctioned, forever punished for the crimes of the Second World War, and it is illegal in Germany to even suggest any sort of revision as to history, okay, as to what really happened during World War II, as to what culpability the Third Reich really has to bear for the events that took place between 1938 and 1945. All right, so they're done. The boomer cannot be changed in Germany. All right, the mind is completely calcified to the point where no amount of new information, okay, is going to make any fucking difference in their political calculation. They are exactly like Yuri Brezhnev said. Okay, once they are contaminated, there is no turning back. They cannot be saved. All right, and that sadly is Germany. Now, what's gonna happen here, or what should happen is, yes, Larry, like you said, they have to form a coalition government because you can't rule outright with just 29% of the vote, okay, unless you're Justin Trudeau somehow. So anyway, so the CDU has to form a government and it has to establish a coalition with these other parties.
Somehow,
right?
It's Castro. That's how.
Yeah, right. No shit. Yes, Aaron Olson, I agree. It's been 80 fucking years. All right, enough. It's enough. You don't have to bear the sins of the father for perpetuity. That's not fair. That's actually disgusting and unjust. It's actually a crime against humanity to be judging grandchildren for the actions of their grandparents. And I'm fiercely committed to that. So the CDU, the conservatives have to form a coalition government, and they're responsible for forming the government because they came out on top. All right. So what would you say, Chris, would be the natural coalition here?
There's no.
Okay, well, you would think
there's nobody for them to.
You would think the ostensibly conservative CDU would join in a coalition with the Alternative for Deutschland, right? Because that would get them just there, right at that 50% mark that they need, and you could convince enough of the libertarian fags in the FDP to join in to create a stable government. Okay, but no. This is Europe, you understand? And democracy in Europe means the will of the people must be subverted every single time because fuck what the people want. We know better. We are your magisterial class and you will obey. So what's going to happen is the CDU is actually going to form a coalition government with the SPD, okay? The Democrats. So It's a situation where, think about it in American terms, where the Democrats and the Republicans are going to join forces to ensure that MAGA can't do shit. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to get more.
It's just pure uniparty.
You're going to get more of the same, and nothing fucking changes. The only way it's going to change is if AFD can just outright get 50% of the frickin' vote, which is virtually impossible in a 7-party system like this. All right. So I don't know. I was hoping for the best here, and I'm glad there was improvement. But as far as I'm concerned, in Europe, there is no political solution. Okay, and it's only very recently in the United States that I have even begun to think for a moment that there might be a political solution, and that could be dashed away in a heartbeat. Okay, I could go right back to black pilling any day now. All right, but that's what's going on in Germany right now. That's the takeaway from the election. If you guys want to maybe get a little more info on it, okay, or perhaps a better presenter than me, then look up Paul Joseph Watson. Okay, I'm sure you guys have heard of him, Paul Joseph Watson, on YouTube. He did a really concise 10-minute video on it. Basically gives you your bottom line up front. All right, but yeah, that's Germany. So, well, now that we burned that topic for tomorrow, now we got to find new ones, Chris. Back into meeting mode. So,
all right, what else you got?
I don't know, man. Freaking. Well, let's check the news, right? Go to revolver.com and see if you can put it on the screen. Or is that the kind of stuff that gets you canceled? Can you just post someone's website on your show?
Yeah, we should be fine.
It just scan headlines. Is that legal? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sean Stryker, you look confused. What's going on? This is largely ad lib. This is not your normal morning program, which is fully scripted 60 seconds before the show. No, I'm just joking. Okay. All right. So, all right. That's
bright.
Yep. Oh, I got topics for days, Sean. Well, then call in, dude. We have a number. All right. So we're looking at, okay.
Or drop them in the, send them to the email, Sean.
Novo Ordo, Vatican II, Catholic dioceses are cracking down on traditionalists, non-Vatican II, Latin Mass churches. That's basically what that means there at the top. Hollywood actresses rage against Trump for pushing back on child. Yeah, you know what? Read the script, pun intended, actresses. Nobody cares. You've lost the script completely. All right, no medical justification for vaccinating one-day-old babies for hepatitis B. Yeah, I 100% agree. If you look at can you pull up, Larry? Can you pull up a chart of our current vaccine schedule and like a timeline of it, where it shows what the vaccine schedule was from the 1960s all the way through to today? I think I posted it in Camario, God, probably a couple weeks ago. Anyway. We exist in a situation, yes, Revolver is a conservative drug. Revolver is the heir to what Drudge Report used to be, Aaron. That is correct, yes. If you go to Drudge Report now, it's straight HIV positive, okay? All right. So basically, the bottom line is, it doesn't show it on a graph though. But okay, so the bottom line is, back in the 1960s, okay, there was like 1 or 2 vaccines that we would give children, all right, on like a vaccine schedule when they were little kids. One was polio, and the other one was like measles or whatever, right? Okay, 2 actual deadly diseases. Well, that vaccine schedule has increased today to the point where if you completely abide by the CDC, okay, then you will have injected your kid with like 30 freaking shots by the time they're 1 year old, all right, which is insane. And if you look at that, if you look on a graph of basically the increase in the vaccine schedule and then compare it to increases in the cases of autism amongst children in the United States, they pretty much mirror, all right?
Yeah. So okay. So they keep beating up on RFK and saying, "Oh, well, he's repeated the debunked conspiracy theory that vaccines cause autism." Let's clear something up real quick.
They do.
The claim that vaccines cause autism is based, in all fairness, purely on the anecdotal evidence that the increase in the number of vaccines that we give new children and the rate of the increase of autism in this country track almost 1-for-1.
It's
now,
based on it's based on correlation, and I'm not saying that correlation is causation, okay? But it's
stay with me. Hang on, stay with me on this one, Mario. Right? I've done the whole thing about the statement that correlation is not causation. But basically, the whole claim that vaccines cause autism is based on that correlation. Now, a 1-for-1 correlation, it's a near 1-for-1 correlation. That almost guarantees a fact pattern. When people say that it's been debunked, let's be clear. What they're saying is there's no medical evidence. There's no medical evidence that the vaccine causes autism. More correctly phrased, the statement is there have been no actual medical studies, like over time, studies specifically on the correlation of vaccines causing autism. So there has not been a scientific study to prove that vaccines do cause autism. But wait, there's more. There are also no studies to prove the inverse. There has been no scientific research conducted to disprove the suspicion that very suspicious 1-for-1 correlation might, God forbid, point to a chance of actual causation.
Yes, because our government does not believe in the scientific method when studies might suggest that we are doing something wrong, and therefore we, as in the government and the pharmaceutical corporations, might be liable for something. Okay, it's about protecting that industry. All right. There's even correlation between circumcision and autism. Okay. This is the trauma of the circumcision on that baby causes like a neurological condition in the brain. There's correlation between that. There was actually a study on it, and that study was buried. Okay, before it was going to be published. I'm an intactivist. Okay, activist. I don't believe in
an intactivist.
That's right.
I have some complicated thoughts and feelings on that particular subject, but that's for another time.
Yeah. Yep. We'll talk about dicks tomorrow. No, I'm just joking. We'll talk. Well.
Well, if we get into the creator program, which is the objective here, we're going to have a requirement. Let me check it out real quick. See what that requirement is.
Why don't you talk to us briefly about what the perks? The reason we're doing this mad dash of streaming to try to get, or we're getting made, right? We're getting made. We're gonna be
basically
be part of the family.
So let me share that. Oh, I'm going to switch that into reader mode because that bright white screen is killing my eyes. Okay, so the Rumble 2025 Creator Program. Opportunity for creators to tap into new ways to make money on the Rumble platform. Rumble is allocating a portion of its profits from Rumble Premium subscribers based on the value the creator will contribute to Rumble. To be calculated based on watch time, new user signups, and new premium subs the creator was able to drive during the program. So, yeah. I'm going to need y'all to like, share, and subscribe the shit out of this. And if you're watching on YouTube, I see you. If you're watching on YouTube, start watching on Rumble. And we might start doing some stuff. Where we, dump YouTube and X and everybody else and go Rumble exclusive in the middle of a stream from time to time. Kind of the way Crowder does. Because we have that button now.
Part of the problem is my phone just gave me an alert that you were streaming on Rumble, and it's been like an hour. Hopefully that'll be fixed when you get into the big boy club. Yep.
Well, and in fairness, this one I scheduled it and then I was live 10 minutes later, so I might have to get in the habit of setting up the thumbnail and doing all the scheduling.
I have noticed that. I have noticed a lot of a lot of people I subscribe to on Rumble will post that they are going live, okay, or that they're streaming hours, at least an hour before they actually begin, okay, just to get the alert out. Yep.
So I need to get better about that.
Yeah. But I mean, instead of just like switching over to Rumble, why don't we do something? Why don't we make a spectacle on YouTube and like force them to ban us? Have you considered that?
I have, except here's the thing. We're starting to get close to breaking 1,000 on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I believe that once we break 1,000 on YouTube, we're going to see that number grow rapidly after that.
Potentially, yeah.
That's one of those important benchmarks.
Yeah.
And so in theory, if I can reach thousands of people on YouTube and implore them, like Crowder does, Tim Pool does, the other guys that are getting into the Rumble Partner Program, Rumble Creator Program, and say, hey, there are certain things we can't say here. Go check us out on Rumble. Like part of the Creator Program, in order to stay in it after we get in it, we're going to have to do, I think it's 3 hours a month of Rumble exclusive.
Okay.
No, 5 hours a month must be streamed to Rumble Premium, which means that it will be only on Rumble and only on Rumble Premium. So it won't be free. You'll have to have a Rumble Premium account, which is I think $10 a month. So we're gonna have to start doing 5 hours a month to stay in the Rumble Premium, in the Rumble Creator Program. We're gonna have to do 5 hours a month that's Rumble exclusive, and we'll make those a little extra spicy.
Weren't you talking to the Cameroonian about a Sunday show or a Saturday show?
Yes, Cameron wants to start talking about doing a Saturday morning show because Cameron's busy as a squirrel trying to shed a pineapple Monday through Friday. Yep. And he works Saturday and Sunday too, but he works later and closer to home. So, we can do a Saturday morning, and we can do. It's catching up to me, Mario. We can do later shows as well.
Chrissy Poo's getting tuckered out.
Yeah, it's about that time. I can hear my chair calling to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Angry Conservative, how close are you? What do you mean?
I still need 8 hours.
Ah, gotcha. Well, just let it happen naturally. Just shh. Just let it happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up in just a minute here and go get a little bit of sleep, and then tomorrow morning before the show, if I'm asleep within the next hour, I will still wake up between 2 and 3 in the morning. And sometime between 2 and 3 and the beginning of the actual show, I'll stream for an hour or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be more of me just sitting here playing a video game in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Just
to keep the stream alive and have something so that it's not just 5 hours of, this.
Yeah, you need to Be Controversial's got an idea there. Maybe put on some soothing music, okay? Like maybe mathematical music where it's like fractals that are constantly descending, okay? to fall asleep to for 8 hours, okay? There you go. Surely no one at Rumble would be wise to your scheme. Surely.
Right. Hey, the rules for the partner program, they're not terribly specific. It just says 30 hours of streaming in 30 days.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there are people out there who make hundreds of thousands of dollars streaming themselves playing Roblox and saying virtually nothing. I have no idea. Like I think we need like maybe a 90-day timeout on the internet. Like we can just imagine that kind of social experiment where we just shut down the internet for 90 days just to like try to reset fucking brainwaves on people who are perpetually, permanently online. Okay.
Have you seen Ready Player One?
I have not, but I wanted to see it. It looked interesting.
Oh, it's beyond interesting. It's freaking excellent.
Yeah.
It's one of the best movies to come out in the last 10 years.
I believe it looked really. I read the book, so that's why I wanted to see the movie.
And I haven't read the book. I ought to put that on my reading list and do it soon. But bit of a spoiler. Okay, it's not much of a spoiler because right at the beginning of the film, and I'm sure right at the beginning of the book, it's pretty clear. Okay, our boy is going to win the competition. He's going to get the girl, and everything's going to go his way. Yeah. So once everything goes his way, and he's got control of the game, so everybody is chronically online. Like people live their entire lives in this virtual reality world because the real world,
because reality is awful.
It's just trashed.
It's right. Worse than ghetto. It's fucking trailer stacking packs. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. The film is fantastic, Mario. You've got to see that. In fact,
I'll check it out.
brother, come on up here. I'll blow up the big screen in the yard, and we'll do it drive-in style. Fucking beer and popcorn and steaks. But at the end, when they take control of the whole thing, everybody's been chronically online for ever. I think they do 2 days a week. That they just shut the game off. Nobody can get in.
Yeah.
They shut the whole system off. And they say, get your ass outside, put your feet in the grass, go eat actual food, have sex with somebody. Right? Yeah. Not have virtual sex with somebody in a sensation suit. No, go actually put your thing in somebody.
Yeah, it's a dystopian future where they told you will eat the bugs and live in the pod, and then much to their surprise, people were a little too well adapted for that. We didn't anticipate that. That's frightening. Yeah.
I don't think you've been on camera with us when I've talked about this in the past, but I know you and I have had this conversation before. So AI is coming, right? Yeah. It's here to a degree. It's useful right now. It's a great tool if you know how to make use of it.
It's a tool or a novelty for most people. Yeah,
but it's going to be absolute nightmare sauce one day. So the conversation we've had before, 1984, right? Big Brother's watching you. There's always a television and a camera pointed at you, always. You're always constantly on camera. You live in basically a technological panopticon. And, understand that this book was written before cameras had any level of ubiquity at all. And Wells did not foresee a future where you walked around and your Big Brother device was in your pocket. Right. He was writing this story in a world where a television was necessarily a pretty large device.
Yeah.
Right. The idea of flat screens wasn't even science fiction yet. It was all vacuum tubes.
It's why Brave New World is actually more frightening than 1984 if you really think about it. Because
in several ways, but stay with me on this one. What he missed, the 1984 story assumed that essentially a terrible tyrannical fascist regime would rise up and force the Big Brother scenario, the technological panopticon, the total surveillance state would be forced on you by this machine, by this tyrannical machine. And then you fast forward, just 40 years after the book came out, we bought it with our money voluntarily. We wanted it. We stood in line for it.
Yep. You will purchase your chains. Yep.
And y'all, and then let me jump forward to Facebook. I didn't mess with Facebook originally. For a long time, I didn't have a Facebook. I started a Facebook account I don't know, in 08 or 09, because somebody said it was interesting. And I said, okay, I'll check it out. And I opened a Facebook account, and I basically never touched it after that. Then when I deployed, and it was how I got pictures of my baby girl while I was away, I started using it.
Yeah.
Here's what's going to happen. Your dad's going to be in his 90s in a retirement home, hooked up to machines to keep him alive. They're going to give him a Neuralink. They're going to tell you, okay, this neuro implant is going to basically let your father relive his happiest memories. It's gonna switch off his pain receptors. It's gonna protect him from that level of suffering.
No.
And he's basically going to spend the rest of his days in virtual reality, fishing at the lake, hunting in the woods, doing the things that he used to love to do.
Vanilla Sky.
Right? And you say, God, man, I don't know. Well,
Vanilla Sky. Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing that happens is you, a virile, healthy man with a wife and kids you like to spend time with, a yard you like to work in, right? Maybe a job you like to do. They're going to say, he's only going to be with us for a few more years at most before the machines just can't keep him alive. If you get the implant, you can spend some quality time with him. And it will be as if he's healthy and alert and articulate and lucid again.
It won't work on me. It won't work on we. It won't work on our generation. Okay, I fear.
No, it's going to be when I'm 100. It's going to be when I'm 150 because medical technology's carried me further than it should have against my will. And they're asking my son, hey, you want to go hunting with your old man again?
No, I would pull the plug on my father in that situation as an act of love, as a final act of love and respect for my father. I would pull that plug. I would rather die than live in an artificial construct.
Yep.
But for Generation Alpha, like for our kids' generation, I don't know. I don't know what kind of influences they're gonna. I don't know where AI or what effect that AI is going to have on the culture, like the internet. The internet had on us, right?
Well,
this was the last groundbreaking paradigm shifting piece of technology. Okay.
You played Total War, right?
Yeah, of course.
You're a grown ass 40-year-old man who plays video games, right?
I don't really anymore. I play like Civilization 5. That's about it. Where I can turn it on and off whenever I want to. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah. When's the last time you saw your dad play a fucking video game?
Never.
Exactly.
Literally never.
That's it right there.
Yep.
Right. Our kids will be in. They'll be involved with actual virtual reality.
Yep.
Because and it's not just going to be. It's going to be even more insidious than with the video games, because with the virtual reality stuff, okay, cool, there's virtual reality video games that are awesome, and you can taste foods you can taste the Wagyu beef that you'll never be able to afford. You can eat all the ice cream you ever want to eat without having to worry about getting fat. But it's going to be worse than that, because with the video games that you and I played growing up, that we still play occasionally as adults now, that our fathers never messed with, it's going to be even more insidious, because it's going to be, that you have to own that set of virtual reality goggles, because your job, your engineering job, your mathematics job, your STEM field job is now using augmented reality as part of your profession. So you have no choice but to own the thing if you want to be engaged in productive work.
It's
and
literally,
you might as well load a game on there.
It's essentially almost quite literally the mark of the beast in Revelation. You cannot do commerce unless you bear the mark.
You will go stand in line and buy your big brother.
Yes, but with this isn't the mark quite yet, because if I wanted to, I can throw this thing across the room and destroy it. Okay, if I've got something implanted in, if I got a Neuralink, I can't remove that. without killing myself. Or
Right.
if I'm lucky, I'll end up like that, like the Jewish mathematician in that movie Pi, where he takes a freaking drill to his brain and shuts off his hypothalamus. So, that's an old movie. I don't know if you've seen that, but yeah.
I haven't seen Pi.
Oh, okay, yeah. Basically, the mad genius in the end, just to make the madness stop, he takes an electric drill to the base of his brain and destroys the part of his brain that actually does math. It's creepy. It's creepy. Yeah.
Are we talking Naked Lunch creepy?
I see. I don't know that reference either. See, we're not on the same schedule here as far as millennial reference, man.
The next time you want to mess with some ayahuasca or LSD,
I don't
try Naked Lunch.
I don't.
And I'm not saying you should do hallucinogens and then watch the film Naked Lunch because it would go well with them. No. I'm saying you should do that instead.
I'll meet you halfway. I'm always down for taking some massive bong rips and watching Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Okay, I'll do that any weekend with you.
So Naked. It's been a long time. I saw it. It was on the Independent Film Channel in the 90s, but the basic premise: this guy's a drug addict in the real world, right? And he's like a writer. But he has a drug addiction, and when he does the drugs, I don't think it's ever entirely clear on what drugs he does. I think it's an imaginary drug that's like a super hallucinogen. But when he does the drugs, okay, instead of hallucinating, he basically goes to an alternate world, but somehow the alternate world actually affects the real world. And so when he goes to he goes to the alternate world, but he's a writer. He's got his typewriter, and when he takes the drugs and starts hallucinating into the alternate world, the typewriter turns into a giant cockroach with a vagina on its back, in which is the typewriter. Right?
Okay, so it's nightmare DMT. Okay,
exactly. Nightmare DMT.
No, thank you. I'll pass. Yep. Alrighty. So, folks,
yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put a pin in it there. I'm about to go get in my chair and get some shut eye.
Yep, and barring the collapse of nations overnight, tomorrow will probably be a potpourri. Okay, so be patient.
Yep. Y'all be safe. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Oh, I almost just shut it off. Hey, I've got an outro. Let's do that.
Oh, yeah. Fuck. Like the Philadelphia Eagles.
Exactly.